Hi, and thank you so much for joining me. My name is Jeanette Andrada, and I help small business owners increase profit margins using tax and accounting strategies. So, today on my way to my office, I started thinking a lot of the clients that I work with, especially when I first start working with them, don't really know how to pull financial statements within QuickBooks. And even if they do, they're not sure exactly how to interpret those financial statements. So I thought it would be a good idea to just have a basic financial statement analysis training to go over this with you. So if you really are looking to grow your business, if you are really looking to, just do big things with your business, then it's really important for you to know how to do this. So I'm going to walk you through QuickBooks. I have here pulled up QuickBooks Test Drive, which you could just Google it, and it pops up. It's a free QuickBooks version that you could go in here and kind of click around, like in a demo stage. You could actually put in transactions or delete things, and it's not going to hurt anything. So it's a good way for you to get practice. So going back to what this video is about, what we want to look at is the report. So if you're logged into QuickBooks, you're going to see your report section here. So once we click into your reports, there are a few reports that are really important for you to understand. The main two are going to be your profit and loss statement or your income statement and your balance sheet. Now, I'm not going to go into the balance sheet, but I will go into the profit and loss statement for this video. So if we click on the profit and loss statement, for the most part, you automatically will have the custom, or not the custom report, but the default report is usually going to be last month. And so when you pull it, it's just going to show you everything that happened last month. So when you're looking at your profit and loss, this is March 2021. Then you could start seeing how everything is broken down by your income. And then if you had cost of goods sold, they would be here in the middle. And then you would have all your expenses down here. And then at the bottom line, you're going to have your net income. Right? So net income is your income minus expenses. So this is, like I said, just a monthly view, which is very helpful because you could see what happened last month or what's going on this month. And you could see, okay, here is where my income levels are for this particular company. Their income is 7,300. And then if you scroll down, you're going to see your total expenses, which is 3,963. Now there's these other expenses as well, which typically we would put anything that's not necessarily an operating expense or is just not really relevant. One of the things that could be like maybe you get cashback rewards, that's other income, and just miscellaneous expenses that don't belong in here. But at the end of the day, you're going to have your net income, which is going to sum up all of this. So this is a great information. But what I like to do is really look at the report in a different view. So the first thing that I do typically is I like to look at this year. Now, if you just click on this year right here on the drop down, you run the report. Now this is going to show you everything that's happened for the year. This is great also. You could see everything at once. But what's more useful, what I find, is in the display column, you could do it by day, by week, by month, by quarter, by year. So I like to look at it by month. And here we could see a breakdown of how you did every month. So there's something like, just right off the bat, I know this is like a test. It's not a real, company. But if I look, automatically my eyes are going to go to March. So the income is significantly higher in March. So why? And I could see here plants and soils. I mean, they had $2,200 that they hadn't had in other months. Now, if this is very limited because it only has a couple months of data in there. But if you wanted to, you could look at this year after year. Is this a seasonal thing? You start looking for trends. You start seeing what's going on. Like, did you have any advertising, for example, that you might have really pushed for January and February, and the revenues came in March? Like, how can you replicate this revenue month after month if possible? Another thing that you could look at is your expenses, right? So you could start seeing Okay, well, $405 of cost of goods sold, that would make sense if you had to, buy extra materials to pay or to get paid for the plants and soil. So that makes sense to me. But then other things that would stand out to me that I typically look for is like, let's say, your bookkeeper. Right, you only paid them for February, so there, what's going on, like should there be payments for January, March. I look at that for things like insurance, anything that we know would typically be a monthly recurring, and then that's how you could kind of catch like, okay, either I didn't pay them, or what you'll actually see, what I see all the time, is that there will be an expense every month, and I will bring it up to my clients and they tell me, I canceled that months ago, why are they still charging me? And that kind of brings up the conversation of, okay, maybe we need to reach out to the vendor. We need to cancel that because that's eating away at your bottom line. That's taking away from your cash flow. So you definitely want to make sure that you're not paying for things that you're not using or that you don't need. Now, this gets really fun whenever we start having more and more data within QuickBooks. And of course, in order to get data, you want to have, do your bookkeeping, because we could essentially do all dates, and then we could start comparing year after year. So this right here, and of course, like I said, this doesn't have all the data. The data starts somewhere in November. But if you did have the data, you would be able to compare how you were doing last year during this period versus, this year. So last year versus this year, which is really helpful because you start seeing what worked for you and what didn't work for you in a prior period. And you could either push for it in the future or stop doing what you were doing in the past to save you money or to make more money. So those are really cool tools that, I like to use. Another thing that I like to do is I like to do a comparison of a percentage comparison. So if I select this year and I compare to another period, I like to do percentage of income. So if I do percentage of income, I run my report. This is so useful because it's going to tell you this is where you are currently, and this is how much of your income, how much of the percentage of your income. So obviously your entire income is going to be 100%. Here it is, right? Your total income is 100%. But what I like to do is look at your expenses. And when we start looking at expenses, we could start seeing where are the highest ones. Well, we see 8.8% are in jobs and materials, which would make sense if you need to purchase jobs and materials, but you want to make sure that you are at a place where it makes sense. If your percentage is like at 80% of your income, there probably needs to be a conversation with your vendors to see if there's a way you could get a wholesale discounting, or you might want to look for a vendor elsewhere where the costs aren't so high. Another thing that I do is, again, just kind of look right here, equipment repairs. Okay, that's 7%. Maybe that's not that bad. As it gets higher, then you could start thinking, well, it might be more effective. It might make more financial sense for us to just buy buy new equipment versus just continue repairing it, and you are spending a huge percentage on your income. And so, just to let you know, like, I have not looked at this financial statement before. These are just things that, like, right off the bat are coming to my mind. And these are the things that I do with my clients. When I sit with my clients, when I review their financials, I'm going over these type of accounts and these financial statements, because your financial statements do tell you a lot. They tell you so much about what's going on with your business. They tell you where you're bleeding money, where you could possibly do something differently in order to be more profitable or in order to be more efficient with how you manage your finances. So if this is something you're interested in, if you are ready to go big time and you're ready to look at your finances in a way that's going to help you grow your business, in a way that is going to help provide for you and your family, then reach out to me. I am available Monday through Friday. You could always schedule a call with me on my calendar. I'll link it down below. And it's completely free. We'll go over your entire situation, where you are, where you want to be, and go over how I could help you. And, I work with a lot of different industries, and, and I do have, I'm able to help, businesses in all industries. Be able to make better decisions for their business. All right. So again, call me, message me, put yourself on my calendar using my scheduling link, and let's go ahead and get started. All right. I'll talk to you next time. Thank you so much for watching.